When it comes to analyzing literature, there are a lot of different factors to consider. From identifying literary devices to interpreting symbolism and analyzing characters, there are a wide range of techniques that can help you gain a deeper understanding of a text. In this video, we're going to provide some tips and strategies for analyzing literature effectively so that you can get the most out of your reading experience. Whether you're a student studying literature, a book lover looking to deepen your appreciation of your favorite novels, or just someone who wants to learn more about how to analyze literature, this video is for you. So let's dive in and explore some tips for analyzing literature. When analyzing literature, it's important to pay attention to literary devices, which are tools that writers use to create meaning and impact in their writing. Some common literary devices include metaphors, similes, imagery, alliteration, and personification. A metaphor is a figure of speech in which a word or phrase is applied to an object or action to which it is not literally applicable, in order to suggest a resemblance or comparison between the two. Essentially, it is a way of describing one thing in terms of another, in order to draw attention to particular qualities or characteristics. In William Shakespeare's play, As You Like It, the character Jacques delivers a famous monologue that begins with the line, "All the world's a stage." Here, the world is being compared to a stage, which is a metaphor that emphasizes the transience and impermanence of life. Just as actors perform on a stage for a limited time before leaving the stage and being replaced by others, people live their lives on that stage of the world before passing away and being replaced by new generations. The metaphor draws attention to the fact that life is fleeting and temporary, and encourages readers to consider the larger themes of mortality and impermanence. Overall, metaphors are a powerful tool for writers to use in order to convey meaning and create resonance in their writing. By identifying and analyzing metaphors in literature, readers can gain a deeper understanding of the text and appreciate the skill and artistry of the writer. Another literary device to look for in analyzing literature is similes. Like metaphors, similes are also comparisons between two unlike things, but they use the words, like or as, to create the comparison. This can create a vivid image in the reader's mind and help to illustrate the writer's intended meaning. For example, Langston Hughes' poem Harlem uses simile to describe the deferred dreams of the speaker. The poem asks, what happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Here, the speaker compares the deferred dreams to a raisin in the sun, which emphasizes the withering and dying of the dreams over time. The simile creates a clear image in the reader's mind, making the theme of the poem more tangible and memorable. When analyzing literature, it's important to pay attention to the use of simile and how it contributes to the meaning and tone of the work. By identifying and analyzing similes in a text, readers can gain a deeper understanding of the writer's intended meaning and appreciate the artistry of the writing. Another important literary device to pay attention to when analyzing literature is imagery. Imagery is language that creates a vivid sensory experience for the reader, making it easier to visualize the scene and connect with the emotions and experiences of the characters. For example, in William Wordsworth's famous poem I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, the speaker describes a field of daffodils using vivid imagery to convey the beauty and joy of nature. The poem begins, I wandered lonely as a cloud, that floats on high o'er valleys and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. Here, Wordsworth's use of imagery helps to create a vivid and memorable scene for the reader. The golden daffodils are described in such a way that the reader can almost see them swaying in the breeze, and feel the warmth of the sun on their face. The imagery also helps to convey the speaker's emotional response to the beauty of nature, creating a sense of joy and wonder in the reader. When analyzing literature, Paying attention to the use of imagery can help readers to better understand the writer's intended meaning and gain a deeper appreciation for the artistry of the writing. By identifying and analyzing the imagery in a text, readers can gain a deeper understanding of the characters, setting, and themes of the work. Another literary device to keep an eye out for when analyzing literature is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the same sound at the beginning of multiple words in a sentence or phrase. This can create a musical or rhythmic effect, draw attention to certain words or phrases, or contribute to the overall mood or tone of the work. For example, in Edgar Allan Poe's haunting poem The Raven, the repeated N sound in the phrase, "Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary," creates a sense of dreariness and unease. The repetition of the N sound, along with the alliteration of weak and weary, adds to the melancholy and ominous tone of the poem. By paying attention to the use of alliteration in a text, readers can gain insight into the author's intentions and the overall effect they are trying to achieve. Analyzing alliteration can help readers to better understand the rhythm and flow of the text, as well as the emotional impact of the language used. Personification is another literary device that is commonly used in literature. It is when non-human objects or ideas are given human qualities or characteristics. This can be a powerful way for authors to create vivid and memorable images, as well as to evoke emotions and create connections between readers and the text. In Robert Frost's classic poem The Road Not Taken, the two paths in the woods are personified, given human-like qualities. Frost describes them as diverged in a wood, and notes that one path, bent in the undergrowth, while the other was, just as fair. By giving the paths these qualities, Frost creates a sense of individuality and significance around each choice, suggesting that the decision between them is an important one. By paying attention to personification in literature, readers can gain a deeper understanding of the text and the author's intentions. Analyzing personification can help readers to identify the emotions and themes that the author is trying to convey, as well as the overall tone and mood of the work. Symbolism is another important element of literature that can help readers to understand the deeper meanings and themes of a text. Symbolism refers to the use of objects, settings, characters, or events to represent something beyond their literal meaning. These symbols can be recurring images throughout the text, or they can be specific to a particular scene or moment. When analyzing literature, it is important to pay attention to recurring symbols or images and consider what they might represent. For example, in Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter, the letter A, that Hester Prynne is forced to wear is a powerful symbol that represents her adultery and the shame and isolation that she experiences as a result. Similarly, the forest that surrounds the town is a symbol of both freedom and danger, representing the character's desire for escape and the risks they must take to pursue it. By interpreting symbols in literature, readers can gain a deeper understanding of the text and the themes that the author is trying to convey. Symbols can represent complex emotions and ideas that might be difficult to express in words alone, making them a powerful tool for authors to communicate their messages to readers. By paying attention to symbolism in literature, readers can develop a more nuanced and insightful understanding of the text, and appreciate the ways in which the author uses language to convey meaning. Analyzing characters is an important aspect of literary analysis. When analyzing characters, it's important to pay attention to their actions, thoughts, and motivations. Consider how they respond to different situations and how they interact with other characters. One useful technique is to create a character chart or diagram that maps out the traits and actions of each character. This can help you to identify patterns and themes in the text. It's also important to consider how characters develop over the course of the text. Do they change in significant ways? Are there certain events or interactions that trigger these changes? Additionally, analyzing the relationships between characters can provide valuable insights into the meaning of the text. How do the characters interact with each other? Do they have conflicts or alliances? By analyzing characters in depth, you can gain a deeper understanding of the themes and ideas in the text. Understanding the historical and cultural context in which a text was written can provide valuable insights into the author's intentions and the meaning of the text. To consider the author's context, start by researching the time period in which the text was written and the cultural, social, and political events of that time. This can help you to better understand the author's experiences and beliefs and how they might have influenced the text. For example, if you are reading a novel written during the civil rights movement, it is important to consider the historical and cultural context of that time period. You might research the major events of the civil rights movement and the experiences of African Americans during that time. By understanding the social and political context, you can gain a deeper appreciation for the author's message and the themes of the text. Additionally, you can consider the author's personal experiences and beliefs. This can include researching the author's background, reading interviews or biographies, and analyzing their other works. By understanding the author's perspective and influences, you can gain a deeper understanding of the text and its meaning. In summary, considering the author's context is an important aspect of literary analysis. By researching the historical and cultural context, as well as the author's experiences and beliefs, you can gain valuable insights into the meaning of the text. When analyzing literature, it's important to look for the central themes or messages of the text. A theme is a recurring idea or message that the author wants to convey to the reader. Themes can be related to a variety of topics, such as love, death, justice, or freedom, and they can be implicit or explicit. To identify the themes in a text, readers should pay attention to the overall message of the work, as well as any recurring images, symbols, or motifs that are present. In addition to identifying the themes, it's also important to consider how the literary devices, symbolism, and characters contribute to these themes. For example, a recurring image of water in a text may represent rebirth or renewal, while a character who is constantly searching for something may represent the theme of the search for identity. By paying attention to these elements, readers can gain a deeper understanding of the themes and messages that the author is trying to convey. When analyzing themes, it's also important to consider how they relate to the historical and cultural context in which the text was written. The themes and messages of a text may be influenced by the author's experiences, beliefs, and the time period in which they were writing. By considering these factors, readers can gain a broader understanding of the text and its significance. Active reading is an essential aspect of analyzing literature. To read actively, you need to engage with the text in a deliberate and intentional way. One effective strategy is to take notes as you read. This can involve highlighting important passages, underlining key ideas, or jotting down questions or observations in the margins. Annotations can help you remember important details and ideas and can serve as a reference for later analysis. It's also important to engage with the text by asking questions, making connections, and forming opinions. As you read, ask yourself why certain events are happening, what the characters are feeling and why, and what literary devices are being used. Make connections between the text and your own experiences, knowledge, or other texts you have read. Form opinions about the characters, themes, and messages of the text and consider how your perspective might be different from others. By actively engaging with the text in this way, you will deepen your understanding of the literature and develop your critical thinking skills. In this video, We have discussed several tips for analyzing literature. These include paying attention to literary devices, interpreting symbolism, analyzing characters, considering the author's context, looking for themes, and reading actively. By using these techniques, readers can gain a deeper understanding of the text and the author's intent. Remember to take notes and engage with the text, asking questions and forming opinions. Keep practicing and applying these tips to become a more skilled literary analyst. Thank you for watching, and happy reading.